however you were, as you finish at the end of the season, at the end of your 4 years of wrestling, you really have to look at that whole journey and what it's taught you, how far you've come from your starting point to now, and how are you going to let all those experiences carry you well on into to your future, whether it's in wrestling or your future beyond Brophy. I know we have you guys going off and graduating. I know that these guys have to get going. They got to get down to Brophy right now, so I'm going to go just recognize them first. First year wrestler, he's a sophomore. It's amazing to see how far guys come, and you're going to hear that. You're here say that a lot today. It's amazing to see how far a guy comes from. The moment they step on the mat for the first time. Whether it's at the end of 4 years, at the end of this season, at the San Jose O'Connor tournament, you can just see how far Alex Ferreira comes. I hope great hopes for him as long as he keeps it, keeps working hard. Alex, come down and get your JV certificate and post. And his next year, your career, because that was a competitive tournament and he didn't do so well. But man, he is, it may not seem like it, but he is one of the toughest kids on the team. He goes out there every day, and it doesn't matter who he's wrestling. He finishes the matches, and it's great to see him grow into a young man over the last few years. We're really going to miss him because he's been a part of the team, since I've been here, been coaching, and he's one of our seniors this year. I know he has to get going as well, so thank you, Ethan Lee, for a great 4 years. All right, and then, so we're going to let Coach Stevens give all the freshman awards out. Sorry for that whole page trying to get everything's right.
We're so domesticated.
Firstly, I want to thank all the freshmen and parents. That is the true definition of patience, is being a freshman wrestling parent. Because you attend probably the worst organized, the most chaotic wrestling tournaments, and you get there early, and you hurry up and wait. And wait, and wait. And Mr. and Mrs. Blim, have we waited long enough yet? Not until about 5.5 hours, okay? But again, as the freshman wrestling coach, I thank you for, first of all, allowing us the opportunity to work with your kids, but most importantly, getting them there at 6 a.m. for practice. With our site, and it's a good problem to have, I'm not going to complain. Oops, we have too many kids in the wrestling program. So we're going to have to shift schedules and, Coach, would you be okay going in the morning? Heck yes. If I get 30 kids of this quality, I will show up at 4 a.m. Not that I'm doing that next year, don't scare me. But that just goes to the type of kid we have, and really more so that's a reflection on the families and the parents. So from a coaching staff, thank you very much for that this year. The other person I really want to thank will be a new addition to the Brophy wrestling family come later this year, this spring. My fiance, Sina, thank you for your support. This first freshman wrestler started off, did a real nice job, wrestled up a couple different levels, ran into an injury, so we expect big things next year, and that's Jack Wambach. Next wrestler wins the distinction of happiest wrestler at 6 a.m. Always came in, I didn't know if he was awake or not. One day he was sick, said he didn't want to wrestle. I said, no problem. And he literally curled up right on the bleacher and took a nap for about an hour and a half. Josh Longini. It's always nice when you get great athletes. Because when in doubt, they usually can out-muscle and out-quick other wrestlers. This young man, though, with all his athleticism, speed, really took to the knowledge of the sport and really developed and got a lot better. And I hope he sticks with it because he can be a real good wrestler, and that's Tavian Wolf. wrestler gets the Don't You Move award. During a match this year, he had a guy flipped him, turned him, was going to pin him, and he literally yelled at the kid, "Don't you move!" And so we had to tell him after the match, "You can't do that. That's not sportsmanlike, okay?" But hey, it worked for him, and yeah, here's a young man that as he grows in Philip, he's going to be an absolute terror, and I'm glad I'm not going to have to drill with him anymore on the upper levels, and that's Max Noren. The award for patience and persistence and overall improvement goes to this young man who sat around literally and waited and waited and waited to get a match. And the rewards and fruits of his patience and his getting better all year was he finished his last day 2-0 with 2 pins. And as a coach, the best thing that I can say is watching a kid come off the mat with that smile. That kind of like, I did it. And the only thing I wish is that I could have seen a little more, had a couple of these tournaments been run a little better so he would have gotten some more mat time. But again, I'm so proud of this young man for all he's done, and that's Casey Blinn. This young man, it's not often that I'm intimidated or scared to wrestle with any of the freshmen. I wouldn't touch this kid all year, and he's just going to get bigger and better, and that's Dominic Delago. Again, we talk about athletes and we talk about young men who just get better and better and better. Whether they're coughing up their lungs or have a fever, nothing is going to keep this young man off the mat, and that's Michael Grindy. Okay, as a staff, we voted on several awards based on the levels, based on the freshman level, the JV level, the varsity level. I will be the first one to admit that our most outstanding freshman program-wide was Luke Jacobs. Congratulations. Unfortunately, you were too good to wrestle for me. Okay, but I want to recognize that as a freshman, did an outstanding job and was a region champion, a sectional champion. So this year we had 2 freshman awards, our most improved freshman and our freshman Ironman. And these 2 young men, they're cut of the same cloth. They come in, they do their job, they want to get better, and they are tough as nails. And again, neither one of them, I'm not stepping on the mat with them. I'm smarter than that, and I'm too old. But I will let these 2 battle it out the next couple of years in the wrestling room. And our most improved freshman goes to Brogan Smith. And our freshman Ironman, Dominic Delago.
That's going to be tough to follow. Good job.